Ever pondered about the pioneers of chocolate? What enthralling chain of events paved the way for this luxurious delight that has enchanted our palate for ages? Join us as we voyage through time, unraveling the delicious history of chocolate. This narrative originates in the verdant rainforests of Central and South America with a tree. This isn't just any regular tree, but the Theobroma cacao, or as we fondly recognize it, the cacao tree. The tree, adorned with pods resembling a football, was first nurtured by the ancient Olmecs. The Olmecs, an early civilization of the Americas, were trailblazers in discovering the mysteries of the cacao bean roughly 3,000 years ago. But how did they do it? The Olmecs learnt to harvest the cacao bean by cutting the pods from the trees carefully without damaging the trunk or the flower cushions. They then left the beans to ferment naturally for about a week. Next, they dried the beans under the sun, which hardened the shells, making them easier to remove. Once the shells were removed, they roasted the beans, which gave them their characteristic chocolate flavor. This process, once discovered, became a pivotal part of their culture and cuisine, marking the start of the world's love affair with chocolate. Before we move on to the Mayans and Aztecs, let's take a step back and delve into the ancient history of the cocoa bean. This humble bean, hidden within the vibrant pods of the Theobroma cacao, has a rich tapestry of history dating back to the ancient civilizations of Mesoamerica. The Olmecs, one of the earliest known civilizations in the Americas, were likely the first to cultivate the cocoa bean. Their innovation and curiosity led them to unlock the potential hidden within the cacao tree. They discovered that the beans inside the cocoa pods, when harvested, fermented, and dried, could be transformed into a liquid. This wasn't the sweet, creamy chocolate we relish today, but a much more rudimentary concoction. By grinding the beans into a paste and adding water, they created a frothy, bitter beverage. This drink, a far cry from the chocolate we are accustomed to, was a precursor to the delicacy we know and love today. It was this early experimentation and discovery by the Olmecs that set the stage for the development and evolution of chocolate as we know it. So the next time you relish a piece of chocolate, remember the ancient Olmecs, the pioneers who unraveled the secret of the cocoa bean and laid the foundation for the world's love affair with chocolate. From the rainforests of Mesoamerica to your taste buds, the journey of the cocoa bean is indeed a tale that's as rich as its flavor. Now let's journey forward in time to the civilizations of the Mayans and Aztecs, who inherited their understanding of the world from the pioneers of Mesoamerica, the Olmecs. The Mayans and Aztecs were not only remarkable warriors and builders, but also possessed an advanced knowledge of agriculture and botany. They held the tree in a place of honor and respect, believing it to be the gift of the gods, and thus they named it Theobroma, a name that translates directly into food of the gods. These ancient civilizations didn't simply admire the cacao tree for its beauty, they knew its true value lay in the tiny beans it produced. But don't think for a moment that they enjoyed chocolate as we do today. Their consumption of the cacao bean was a far cry from our modern-day milk sugar-sweetened chocolate bars. The Mayans and Aztecs had their unique approach. Intriguingly, they ground the cacao beans into a fine powder, not dissimilar to the cocoa powder we use today. This was then mixed with water, lending it a base that allowed the cacao to shine through. And to this concoction, they added a variety of spices like vanilla and cinnamon, and even chili peppers, creating a fiery, aromatic, and decidedly bitter beverage. This beverage was not something that every Mayan or Aztec could enjoy. No, this was a drink that was reserved exclusively for the elite, the nobility, the royalty, and the priests. It was considered a luxury, a delicacy to be savored during special occasions and used in sacred rituals, a drink truly fit for the gods. The common folk could only dream about tasting this divine elixir. Fast forward to today, the legacy of cacao lives on in the chocolate we love and enjoy, a far cry from the bitter beverage of the past. But it's fascinating to remember where it all began. This was not a drink for the common folk, but a luxury reserved for the elite and used in sacred rituals. In the early 16th century, the Spanish conquistadors set foot on the unexplored territories of the New World, an alien land teeming with unique cultures, resources, and people. One such culture was the Aztecs, a civilization known for its immense wealth, formidable warriors, and intriguing customs. Among these customs was the ritualistic consumption of a bitter drink made from cacao, a commodity they recognized as valuable. At first, the Spanish explorers, unaccustomed to the Aztecs' tastes, found the bitter chocolate beverage revolting. The thought of indulging in such a harsh, unfamiliar flavor was far from their conventional European palates. However, witnessing the high regard in which the Aztecs held this cacao drink provoked a change of heart. Slowly they began to comprehend its significance, understanding the intrinsic value of cacao to Aztecs. Adapting to this new perspective, they began experimenting with the Aztecs' cacao concoction. In an attempt to suit their own palate, the Spaniards started to incorporate familiar ingredients from their homeland, such as sugar and spices, into the bitter cacao mixture. This innovation resulted in a new version of the cacao drink, which was markedly sweeter and more agreeable to the Spanish palate. Their creative addition formed a delectable beverage that was a far cry from the bitter original. This was the birth of the sweet chocolate drink we know today. Chocolate in its sweetened drink form became a hit in Spain. Its popularity quickly grew and it began to spread across the borders, captivating the hearts of people all over Europe. Each nation embraced the delicious drink, adding their own unique elements, diversifying the original recipe. The variations were abundant, from the adding of spices in Belgium to the infusion of fruits in France. Yet it remained an exclusive pleasure, savored by the wealthy, due to its expensive production process. This changed during the Industrial Revolution in the 19th century. This transformative era introduced groundbreaking production techniques that made chocolate more accessible and affordable. The breakthrough was the ability to produce solid chocolate, marking a monumental shift in its consumption. This development opened the gate to a whole new world of chocolate, leading to the invention of chocolate bars and other treats we enjoy today. So, to summarize, the journey of chocolate originated with the Olmecs, who initially cultivated the cacao tree. Following the Olmecs were the Mayans and Aztecs, who venerated the tree and made a bitter drink from its beans. Conquistadors were the first to sweeten this drink, thus introducing a new flavor to Europe. The Industrial Revolution led to the advent of the solid chocolate that we relish today. This journey of chocolate from seed to sweet is a beautiful testament to human creativity and a shared affection for this heavenly delight. The story stretches from the lush jungles of Central America to the vibrant cities of Europe, imbuing the history of chocolate with richness and intrigue. The next time you enjoy a piece of chocolate, contemplate the extensive journey it has undergone to reach your palate.